Glendyr Stavrou spent her childhood years in the mountain kingdom of Lesotho, spending every free moment on the backs of her beloved horses, exploring the countryside around Maseru. Boarding school at 10 years old was a hardship she never quite fitted into and yearned for the holidays. She and her husband Leandros lived for many years in the Midlands of KwaZulu-Natal, where they spent hours on horseback in the pine forest, which fed a lively imagination, always dancing new pictures and stories into her head. She started writing poems as a teenager and progressed to songwriting, choosing a career in music as a classical guitar performer and teacher. She has recently released a book entitled The Adventures of Drodgie the Smidget, published in collaboration with Eurobox, and she's our special guest today to deepen his literary work. So let's welcome Glendyr, who's right now connected with us. Hi, Glendyr. Welcome to this new episode.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
So let's start by introducing the book. What is your story about, please?
My story is about a little fantastical creature who actually my husband dreamed up one morning at breakfast on the veranda of our house. And it was school holidays. So we were having a special holiday breakfast. And he said, and I brushed off the crumbs like this from a croissant. And he said, don't do that, the Smidgets will get them. And all of a sudden, Drodgie just came into being just like that. And I spent the rest of the school holidays. I never knew what was going to happen. I just had such fun because I never knew what he was going to do or what his adventures were going to be or how they were going to end. So he's just a fantastical little creature that we both had so much fun with.
That's a story. That's a story. And what are the main themes and the central message that the book wants to transmit to the reader?
The central message, there are a few different messages, but I think the central message is about loyalty and tenacity and integrity, more from a child's point of view than from an adult's point of view. But underneath the superficial story, I have found adults that have read the book before taking stuff on a different level. I say stuff because it's the best description I can think of in actual fact. But good versus evil, having to have courage and having the courage to follow your dreams and your ambitions and be loyal to your friends at the same time.
Is it relevant to specify children what age, or maybe it can be addressed to children any age?
I feel it can. I've had a four-year-old read it and love it and go off on wonderful imaginative fantasies, like with Drodgie when he has to cross the puddle on a leaf. And his mother said to me, I wish it wasn't so imaginative because we can't get on with the story because he's already thinking of ways to get across on the leaf. And I love to fire up an imagination like that because I feel if children fire up their imaginations, they can do so much more.
What are the challenges that a writer of a children's book has to face while writing a book? I mean, what do you have to pay attention to while writing a book addressed to children?
I feel that it's got to be age appropriate with characters that the child can actually identify with. If I had made Drodgie an ordinary young adult human being, he wouldn't have been as interesting or as exciting. So for the child to have a childlike imaginary creature, it makes that story relevant and it makes it easy to identify with.
So considering your level of imagination, I can guess you are right now writing something new, aren't you?
I am. I can't stop writing. I went from the the 3 Drodgie books, because there are 2 following the first Drodgie, because then I had to get him home, because I couldn't just leave him out there. So then he had to get all the way home again, and in time for Christmas he must go home. So I did those 2, and then there was a book which was a true story about a horse, a filly, that I got off the side of a mountain unhandled, and it's her telling the story of her life going from a wild mountain, unhandled, unfed little youngster to being a perfect riding horse, because I have very, very strong feelings about animals and the handling of animals. So then she wrote her story through me. And now I'm actually wanting to write a story about a Malawian youngster that I know who's had quite an interesting, difficult life. And I feel that everybody should know that story. So I'm writing that, which is also a true story. And I've got so many ideas in my head. I'm not sure which one to do first.
Well, from our side, I can tell you that we look forward to reading something more from you. For now, thank you very much, Glendyr, for enjoying us today. And we wish you best luck with your book out there.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor.
This fantastic tale, embellished with original, colorful drawings, tells the stories of an imaginary being who meets numerous friends on his way, where loyalty, friendship, and courage unite everyone in search of a common purpose: the perennial struggle between good and evil. Will our Drodgie succeed in his intent to bring good to the world? A story set in nature where everything is balanced, where every creature responds to a precise supernatural and magical design. The Adventures of Drodgie the Smidget by Glendyr Stavrou is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobooks.